Welcome to Life Inside Hell. I'm your host, Brother Wild Bill, coming to you from inside the most dangerous prison in the Western Hemisphere, where I'm the prison's chaplain as well as an inmate. I've been in prison for 13 years and I'm serving a 46-year sentence. I'm also, well, as I already said, I'm the prison's chaplain. This is my audio diary and we're talking about what happened today. A lot of you know that I may or may not, hopefully, no, bullshit. A lot of you know that I am going back to Chiriquí. We're just waiting on the paperwork right now. So I want to affirm that because I believe in the power of my own words. I'm going to Chiriquí. I'm going back to the minimum security prison where I was before. Hopefully. That's all in the works right now. We believe that it's going through for a lot of different good reasons. We believe that I will be transferred there in the next little bit. All right, so to back up a bit, in 2018, something like that, there was a kid. I was working out in the gym every day, and I ran a little group. Like maybe there were three of us. That we were like really, really hardcore as well. A little group that I had, weightlifting, boxing, and like doing really, really heavy duty cardio. So this kid started trying to work out with us, and I thought he was a kid. He was like 19, right? So I thought, well, I'll work his ass so hard until he doesn't want to come back. And I tried every day. I tried to make it so ugly and terrible, and I was mean to him as well, on purpose, so he wouldn't come back. And he came back every day until I just began to, love the kid. And so I adopted him like my son, and we called him White Monkey. Well, we didn't call him that. I don't know who gave him that name actually, but his name's Carlos. Anyway, I invited him actually to live with me and everything, and he became like, let's say, my executive assistant would be the right way to put it. Really, seriously, like he took care of everything. I didn't be like, go do this, go do that, and he would run off and do it. But I took care of his food. I brought him his food in for him, and I even bought him a phone and several other things. I took care of him. And so anyway, he called himself my son, and he still calls himself my son, and he calls me father and everything every time I talk to him. So when I got transferred the next year, the kid was put in jail for murder, but it was like manslaughter would be the right term in the United States, or I don't know what they call it overseas in Europe or Australia, but in the United States we call it manslaughter when you kill somebody because of a negligent act, but weren't planning to kill them. Like he got into a fight outside of a bar when he was like 18, literally 18, and he killed a man on accident. It wasn't like he wasn't actually trying to kill him in the fight. So he confessed, and they only gave him 10 years, which is really good in Panama. That's really short, actually. And so, but he doesn't have like a hell of a sentence or anything. His sentence is not very long, and he's not very violent. He's not a bad kid. Anyway, but when I found him, he had problems using drugs and like running with the wrong crowd, so to speak, So I fixed all that, and I'm a very hard man, to be honest with you. I mean, like I don't take no shit, and I'm very disciplined personally, and anybody that's going to be near to me has to be disciplined as well. And he lived with me, and so he was very disciplined. I remember on his 20th birthday, he came in and he was stoned. He smoked dope. He smoked marijuana, and he came in, and I realized that he was stoned. And when he went to sleep, I tied him up and left him in the corner for 10 hours with his gagged in the mouth, with his hands tied behind his back and his feet tied, and stuffed him in the corner and left him there for about 10 hours. And so that was his punishment for coming in stoned. And so you can imagine the kind of thing. But at the same time, I really loved the kid, and I took care of him, and I wasn't trying to be mean to him. I don't want him doing that shit. I don't want him doing anything wrong to get fucked up. I want him to he's got to stay clean. Anyway, so when I left, I gave him the best instructions I could to try to live, but I was worried, and I was right to be worried because the other boys in the cell that were in the cell where I lived didn't care for him as much as I did. And soon he got into a fight with one of them, and he got sent out of that cell to another place. Anyway, things went downhill, and so now he's living with a bunch of fuck-ups and they do these little telephone scams where they call you. This is in Panama, obviously. They call you and they say, "You've won a prize. All you have to do to claim your prize is pay the taxes on the prize." And then, like, they can get somebody to send them $80, $100 to some supposed. It's like a Nigerian scam, but we call it the Panamanian scam. Anyway, so this is what he's doing now, and he's using a lot of blow, a lot of coke, and so I talked to his mother, and anyway, so it got out. It's out and around, running around in Chiriquí that I'm coming back, that the king is coming back to his throne. And so Mono Blanco, White Monkey's mother, called me today, and I didn't know any of this. I kind of suspected it, actually, but I didn't know it for sure until she called me today, and she said that he had been so flagrantly, like, trying to rob people. It's not him. It's like he's in a cell with a bunch of fuck-ups that sell drugs and rob people and shit, and they put him to call because he can talk really well, and they put, he's eloquent when he speaks, and so they put him to call people to try to rob them. And so she's like, if you get back to Chiriquí, will you please take him back? And I said yes. Well, the first thing I'm going to do, I told her, the first thing I'm going to do is beat the shit out of him and set him straight. And but yes, I will certainly, because I love the kid very much. And so this is yet another reason why I think that, really, it's weird because, like, everybody that I know from the Chiriquí province of Panama is calling me, and they don't know that I'm coming back there. But it's just like all these pieces are falling in line, and I really want. There's many reasons I want to go back, but like this makes me want to go back even more because I need to take care of that kid. I need him straightened out. I need to straighten him out, and I will, with extreme prejudice, because it pisses me off. I taught him better than that. I spent like a year and a half trying to teach him how to be a man, And so, but we can also be very sympathetic with him. He's there all by himself. His family's not from the Chiriquí province. They live in Panama City. And so, and they're not very, like, I remember one time, it was his 20th birthday, I think it was. It was the same day that he got stoned. During that week, his mother, the same woman that called me to check on him, his mother came to Chiriquí, and like he was so excited because she was supposed to come and visit him, and then she didn't even visit him, didn't even call him, didn't say shit until she came, didn't say nothing to him, didn't send him nothing, didn't do nothing for him, went back to Panama City without even saying anything to him. And he was fucking devastated. Like, he was like really, 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 really depressed and sad about it. And so like, this is a kid they're all alone, like me, but I'm an old gangster. I'm tough as hell. But we're talking about a kid. I think he's like 23 now or something. He's very young, and so he was even younger then. And so I can understand how he could fall in with the wrong crowd. And he didn't have anybody to help him. He didn't have any income or anything like that. And so what's he supposed to fucking do to survive? So, but at the same time, something else. That's not what he's supposed to do to survive. He's not supposed to rob people and use drugs and be using drugs. And so he's getting an ass whipping from his surrogate father at the first available opportunity. But I'm excited also to go back because I want to go back and straighten him out, because I care very much about him, and like he should be go free pretty soon. Hell, he's been in 6 or 7 years of a 10-year sentence. He's got to be getting close now. So I want to get him straightened out before he goes home. I don't want to send him home all drug addicted and fucked up, Well, anyway, so if you like this story, this is a real true story and something that's going on in my life, like, subscribe, and comment. And as usual, if you don't like it, you can just ram it up your ass. If you want to contact me for any reason at all, please pull the description box down, and there you'll find an email, Facebook, and an Instagram. You can contact me at any one of those directly. And if you want to support me, go buy my book, Long Live the King, Wild Bill. That's also in the description box. It's a great story. It's about my first year in prison. And then also, on top of that, there's a Wikipedia link if you want to just know more about me. And you can read up on me. Most of that stuff's pretty damned accurate now. So thanks, guys, for listening.